don't like the term guru. Guru is given, it's just like vegan now.
Mm.
A little side note. I know the algorithm's gonna be like, this child is all over the place. I do not know how to clip this up, but get used to it. Um uh a little bit of a side note, things are always after your energy, you know, always like demanding what your focus here, there, and everywhere. And I was starting to say I don't like the term guru because it used to mean something good. It used to mean an honored teacher, right? The term guru, right, is connected to bringer of light, right? It used to mean like an honored teacher. Now, because people don't know how to behave, or, well, let me not say that. It's not that people don't know how to behave. People's humanness is leading. The flawed capacities of being a human is leading, as opposed to the exalted tenets that people are coming to teach.
Welcome to the Mind Body Energy Imbalance podcast.
All right, peace and love. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Mind Body Energy Imbalance podcast. I'm your host, your favorite auntie, your favorite mind, body, and energy coach, Samut, also known as Mama Yoga. I have so many names. I'm so blessed. And welcome. And what's up, my producer and co-host that's getting less and less reluctant, Flaw 700. What's up, baby?
What's going on? How's everybody doing? How's everything going? Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so it's been a busy bang up last couple of weeks. Last week we had head wraps yoga and curves, which is still giving birth, is still being celebrated. We sent out our surveys. Did you get a survey?
Word by email?
Yeah.
I'll have to check. I get so
All right. So if you didn't, just let me know. We'll send it out again. But we sent out our surveys. And still, besides the surveys, people are just calling, saying how much they enjoyed the speakers, how much they enjoyed the mix of presenters that we had on the show. I mean, on the at the event, because like I said, my thing is we need all of the different dynamics that help us to be successful in life: health, wealth, financial literacy, how to move your body at whatever age. Movement is medicine. What type of nutrition to consume at the different stages of life. Natural healing and medicinals. The sister that talked about first aid for using natural first aid remedies, Simbita. It was just awesome. Yoga, meditation. We need all of that. So I'm thankful. People are still weighing in and celebrating that, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And this weekend is Kamet Fest. I don't know if you can see my shirt. Kamet Fest. I may stand up a little tiny bit for the viewing audience so that you can see my shirt. Kamet Fest 2023. That is a celebration of African culture, of the ancient Kemetic people, the Kamo, who were, in fact, Black folk. Let's not get it twisted. And so this weekend in Philadelphia, all weekend long, yesterday, today, events going on, celebrating Kamet Fest. Last night was amazing. They did a play called Mango, and it was about using your spiritual culture to help you connect with your mate in life. And that's what we're going to talk about today, too. We need to talk about that a little bit. Some of the other keynote key components of what we like to chat about. Excuse me. Yeah. How your week going, Flo?
Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. I had a tremendous week.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of ups and downs. But when there's ups, you had a tremendous week. We don't worry about what went wrong. We don't worry about what we could have did better. We looked at the week and realized we had a successful week. You ever have? We all got to get out of this, and I'm going to say us all, right? I'm going to paint this picture, right? You have 7 days in a week. One day
Yep.
could be blah, the other day could be hooray, then it's blah, then it's hooray. We focus too much on the blah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get down on a week, you go, wait a minute, just yesterday I was celebrating. So why am I
Right.
not still focused on the celebration? Why am I focused on, something that might have not went my way on the Friday?
Mhm.
Thursday, it was going and popping. So what are we talking about, right? Let's
Right.
celebrate.
What's the dealio?
Yeah, like so what's going on? Why are we tapping out? So let's focus on the good that happened in your week, right? Out of
Right.
7 days in a week, and I've said this before, if you win 4 of those days, you won the week. Doesn't matter
That's
if
right.
it's Saturday, right?
Mhm.
Last day of the week, you go, this was a crappy week. No, it wasn't. Think about those other uh 6 days you had, right? How many of
Mhm.
those days did you win? So
Right. Yeah, that's a great philosophy and a great way to look at life because it's always crappy.
mhm,
It's always, stuff to complain about, to be worried about, to be consumed with, to be fretting over. It just is always is. And so, but we don't want to focus on that because that's an energy suck. That's
mhm,
an energy drain. And it's excellent perspective that you just shared here. Yes, we have our downtime, but the deal, the jewel, the magicians, the wizardry is to focus on being happy and being and what is working, not what is not working. Because that can take you down, a really ugly, heavy rabbit hole that's oftentimes hard to get out of. It really is. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was leading into that, like so much stuff is after your time, so many distractions, so many obligations, so many responsibilities is after your time. And so, of course, I was listening to some of my favorite internet virtual mentors, gurus from afar. I don't like the term guru. Guru is given, it's just like vegan now.
mm.
A little side note. I know the algorithm's gonna be like, this child is all over the place. I do not know how to clip this up, but get used to it. Um, uh, a little bit of a side note, things are always after your energy, you know, always like demanding what your focus here, there, and everywhere. And I was starting to say I don't like the term guru because it used to mean something good. It used to mean an honored teacher, right? The term guru, right, is connected to bringer of light, right? It used to mean like an honored teacher. Now, because people don't know how to behave, or let me not say that. It's not that people don't know how to behave. People's humanness is leading, the flawed capacities of being a human is leading as opposed to the exalted tenets that people are coming to teach. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what's happening. So the term guru, you are finding people's humanness is showing up more than the fact that they're really leaning into what it is that they say they're teaching, right? The higher vibration of what they're teaching. And also it's like vegan. Like I was a vegan for almost 30 years of my life. Not 6 months, not a week, not as a 3-day diet fast.
Mhm.
30 years. And when I became a vegan, I didn't become a vegetarian. I became a vegan out the gate. You know, everything tasted like what do they call that? Styrofoam.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everything tasted like what in the hell, child? We is not. My southern ancestors and my African ancestors is not having this. We like, well, no, we're not doing this. So we seasoned up the food. Still, vegan, still no animal products. We found a way and ushered in, in the era that I became a vegan, many of us ushered in the understanding of vegan soul food, and how to flavor the food so that even though it is plants, is all plants. There's no animals, no butter, cream, none of the stuff that gives the thing the flavor that we love. Even though we know we learned how to season it properly, it was still very, very good for you. And all, there was a whole era of us. But now veganism, I tell you, when the folks get to it, Lord have mercy, when the gray cats get to stuff, man, they just be jacking stuff up. So now it's like vegan, Gestapo, the vegan Nazism, where, and I'm not using that term loosely. I know people had a really challenging time with that era of history. But what I mean is these people who are imposing their ideology about veganism on folks. So veganism, like guru, is now kind of like a dirty word, where, oh, you're not a vegan if you wear leather shoes. Honestly, leather shoes, leather footwear is much more harmonious to your energy than plastic, than rubber soled shoes, because the leather still allows for the energy to pass from the earth to your physical. So that's kind of ridiculous. Like, if you're going to kill the cow, you might as well use all the dang on cow. I mean, and then, it's misplaced, the understanding of veganism to the point of extreme veganism. Let's use that terminology, is misplaced. It is really about a relationship to the earth and to this vessel that we stand on to help our life and give us sustenance in our life. So over factory farming and abusing livestock and not caring for them properly and feeding vegetarian animals flesh is all abuse of that particular those beings, the animal beings, right? So that point is well taken. But it's better if you understand the magnetism, humanity to earth, humanity to animals, humanity to plant life, then you understand that it is much better to wear deer-skinned shoes with deer-skinned soles than it is to wear rubber shoes or plastic shoes with rubber soles, because that plastic is not natal, it's not natural, it's not vibratory with the land that we stand on. And so you short circuit your body's ability to receive the ions and the energy from the earth to help heal and balance you with the earth. And that's real. It's all kind of studies now that indicate wearing sneakers all the time, rubber soled shoes, and how that's contributing to the lack of health in humanity.
So real quick, right? Because social media has been making a joke about a certain thing, and something came to my mind, right? So pop culture, we're talking about Kanye West, yay, right? He's been seen walking around with socks on, right? But he, knowing him, that they're not just Fruit of the Loom socks or something. There's something else, right? But
Right.
obviously, he's probably informed with the information you just provided, right? So when you see somebody just walking around with socks on, he looks like a karate guy with karate shoes, but obviously he must be informed with what you're saying. This whole time I'm walking around with rubber and plastic on my feet, and I'm not in tune with the ground, not in tune with the earth, right? So now he's walking around, shoeless, and that's just that's what came to my head when he was talking about that. So just in pop culture terms, right? If you see Kanye, he's one with the earth, people.
Right, he is. And the thing about it is, that whole industry that he's captured in and trying to really escape from will make somebody like Kanye seem like they are crazy. Right? What they're doing is bananas. You know what I'm saying? But really, and he may be, but by whose standards? When I became a vegan, my mama and them thought I was crazy. By whose standards? The thing is to watch the person that's walking on the road less traveled. because that's where the message is. When you don't go the direction of the masses, because that's where the slaughter is. You always watch the person who is going off the beaten path, and the reality of it is that there is a whole science known as earthing, where you take your shoes off and you stand on the planet. You stand in some grass. You go to a park or your backyard if you have grass in your backyard, and you just stand on the planet, right? The earth is a living, vibrant, electric being. It is a being. And when you stand on the earth in some sand, in some dirt or some grass, or even down at the beach in some sand, you allow the energy exchange into this vessel we call our human bodies, and it begins to go to work. It begins to complement the healing that is needed. When the sun is at its apex and rising, which is the summer months, is the best time to do that. If you live in a warm climate, earthing is the best time to put your feet in the earth, is the best time to do that, because the energy is at a zenith, right? It's the earth in the northern hemisphere where we live is at its height. The earth in the southern hemisphere is in the winter, is going into its winter. Like right now, the earth in the southern hemisphere below the equator is now going into into summer, spring and summer, where we are going into fall and winter. Well, we're in fall and we're heading into the hibernation season for this part of the planet, right? So you want to, up until even, snow is on the ground, you want to go out and earth as best you can. If you live near water, which is wonderful, and it's great to spend time by water, even if you got to drive a little bit, because the energy of the water is very, very not only calming and healing, but it's very, what I'm trying to say, revealing. It helps you open up your psychic energy to reveal what it is you need to work from, or what it is you need to heal from. So you take your socks off right now and go out to Veterans Park near us, or out to Mercer County Park, or dang nabbit Cadwalder Park. And take your socks off and just stand in the earth and walk around a little bit in the earth and let the earth's energy meld with yours. And you do that a couple of times a week. If you really if you really own your own time, you can do it a couple times a day, and you'll see the difference in your energy. All right. Our family went to an event last night. Everybody who knows us and tunes into the podcast knows Flaw is my nephew. My baby sister's baby boy, oldest son, actually.
Yeah.
And so our my sister and cousin, his mama, and his second cousin, whatever. Anyhow, our family, they went to an event, and I spoke to them this morning, because it's Sunday morning. I had to harass them to see how everything went. And they talked about walking along the beach, coming in and sleeping better than they had ever slept before. No waking up in the middle of the night. No, can't get back to sleep at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever. They just walked on the beach. The water, the sand, the energy, the tide is very, 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 very energizing and balancing whatever balance you need. And they talked about, child, walked on the beach, and I woke up and it was like 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, same thing with earthing. Make time to go by some water. Make time to pull your socks off and go stand in the earth. So I was talking about the extreme behaviors and why I don't like the term guru and veganism anymore, because people bring an extreme perspective to these words and what these words mean, that really kind of blow it all out of proportion. It's better to wear some deerskin shoes than it is rubber soles sneakers, right? It's better to, if you're going to follow, quote unquote, or receive teachings from a quote unquote guru, it's better to look at their life and see how well they are managing what they are teaching in their own life. If it's just like one thing I could say about the spiritual tradition that I have come through, Osiris Society. One thing was it was all about excellence and the experimental, right? So if a person is talking to you about money and teaching you what to do with your money, they have to have money. They can't be a chapter ahead of you in the book. Right? Because it's not just the intellectual, it is you really learn from the practical experience of what you are trying to teach others. I remember, I'm sorry if I'm on a run, but it's a stream of consciousness that's on me, right? I remember in this area, a new gym opened up. And I went to go sign up at the gym because, I love amenities. Anybody know me? That's where all my money go, is to self-care, honey. I love amenities. I will spend some money at a spa and whatever. Anyway, so I went to this new gym, and the person interviewing me, or, the salesperson, there to sign me up for the gym. No disrespect, but he was at least 350. And when it was time to tour the gym, he walked maybe 50 feet, leaned up against the wall and said, "Yeah, go ahead. You just go." And he's breathing heavy. "You just go and just look all around and go over there. And then I'll be right here when you get back." I was like, hell no, I ain't coming to this gym. I ain't coming to this gym. Don't they understand marketing? You need to have somebody with a sitting up booty, tight waist, fabulous looking like they got a little couple biceps telling me getting my money for the gym. Not somebody who look like they ain't never seen a gym a day in their life. And don't be emailing me and text me about no damn body shaming. Because I'm not trying to hear. I'm telling you, it's one thing to be big, voluptuous, sensual, and in full possession of your health and wealth. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being overweight to a degree where it is harming your health. You can't sell me no gym membership, baby. You got to get in the gym, and use the space that you're at. That's just the training. So if you want to find or follow a guru or someone who is trying to teach you things for your life, or various, protocols and dynamics for your life, try to observe how they're using it in their life. That's just a rule of thumb across the board. So it's all good. And again, you're not holding anybody to a judgment. But if I'm going to give you my time, energy, money, effort, focus, and attention, I do reserve the right to make an observation and a judgment from that observation. Absolutely. Because you're asking me for my energy, right? Or I'm going to you saying, I want you to guide me, but you can't guide me if you are not using what you are professing to teach in your own life. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like in your current business, one of the things that you said, and you and I talked, was that, I said, well, what if somebody who wants to be a part of your business doesn't really have, let's just say one of the instruments that you all talk about to help people be successful in their financial life is a life insurance policy. What if somebody who is a producer doesn't have a life insurance policy and feel like they don't really need one? That's kind of like, well, baby, how are you going to tell me about that?
Yeah, that's exactly what we say, right? Like okay, for starters, come join us. Let's spread the knowledge. But eventually, sooner or later, you're going to have to practice what you preach. right? Because if somebody goes,
Mhm.
"Well, do you have it?" You can't say no, right?
Mhm.
You want to sell somebody a car? Hey, would you drive it? No. You want to
Mhm.
sell somebody some food? Hey, would you eat this? No, right? You don't. It's
Right.
just you gotta. If somebody asks you, hey, what do you think is the best thing on this menu? Right? Of course,
Mhm.
you know what you think. Is the best, right? But you have had to have tried it at least, tried it, tasted it. You
Mhm.
have it, you use it, right? You cannot promote or talk highly of something and not be any use of it. I totally agree with you 1,000% on the gym aspect, right?
Right.
A lot of people are just going, it's a job. But
Yeah.
as far as, because think about it, you and I know how the gym works.
Mhm.
You can be at the table at the desk. You also are one of the trainees, right? So
Right.
pick whichever field of training you're going to be in. But do I want you training? I see it all the time. I'm not going to lie,
Mhm.
right? I see it all the time. I'm not going to mention no gyms, but not
Yep.
everybody's in tip top shape.
Yep. Yeah, I watched that too, and it's kind of a case of knowing too much. I could be in the gym and watching a trainer and know good and darn well they don't know what the hell they talking about.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or that's not really the course of action I would have chosen just from observation looking at the person with them. Somebody who is 350 pounds trying to lose weight, you don't want to really stress their knees with a whole bunch of squats and lunges and things like that, because for every pound you're overweight is 8 pounds of pressure on your knees. Honestly, that's how I tore my meniscus. I was way too much fluffy. Hold on, wait, late, hold it, sidebar. Let me tell you, mama could see a waistline, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. This shit is starting to look a little Coke bottle-ish. What? Woo! I'm probably gonna be championship ready by the time the spring flowers start popping up. Let's go.
Mhm.
So, you got to kind of, but a new trainer doesn't know that. And again, it's experiential, it's life lessons. It's one thing to study a thing, it's another thing to align your energy with that particular thing, that subject, and let it inform you. There's a spirit in everything.
Mhm.
And let that spirit, the governing energy of whatever it is you are connected to, engaged in, trying to bring forth, produce, manifest, there's a spirit connected that is the teaching energy of that particular thing. Right? So, I mean, it's all good, it's really, really a wonderful time, but it's a double-edged sword. We have people who are, YouTube scholars that have read something, that study something, that watch something, and now they know, but they don't have the experience that is the best teacher for what it is they're trying to teach. And so I was watching one of my favorite online teachers, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I love Boyce. Y'all can say what you want, but Boyce is B1. That man, I love him. Right? And ain't nobody the one that's perfect. I need you to show up,
Mhm.
and remember what they did so-called to the other perfect guy. He was hung up on a cross, if you gonna follow the story. Everybody with me?
Mhm.
So I was watching Boyce and he was saying, you need to really pull your time in and create your focus. Don't let anything distract. You really have to limit how many distractions you have if you are trying to get something done in your life. So, one of the things he said that I thought was excellent and that I've begun adopting rather, is what are the 5 most important things to you in your life? Make a list of the 5 most important things to you in your life. And if somebody's engagement with you is not feeding one of those 5 things, they really can't have your time. They can't have none of your time because it's just so fleeting. Before you know it, it's going to be 30 years from now.
Mhm.
I mean, really, it just is a blink. So, to Mama Yoga followers, to my energetic people, what are the 5 things that matter to you in your life? Just pick 5 and make sure you do something toward that every single day. Right? Can you think of 5 off the top of your head, Flaw?
Things that matter to me.
5 things. Just 5. If you can't give me 5, give me 2. Give me 1.
Yeah, my health.
Yep.
And
This
my
is
children.
recorded.
Yeah, my health and my children. Top 2.
Your health,
My health and my children, which is
your
why,
health and your
um,
children.
I'm in the gym all the
Mhm.
time, right? Because I'm very
Mhm.
conscious of, hey,
Mhm.
one slippage, right? You can go for months at a
Mhm.
time. You take 2 days
Yep.
off, you feel like it's the end of the world, right? So I just want to stay.
Yep.
So when I stay physically ready, I stay mentally ready as well. So when I say
Mhm.
health, I mean in all aspects, right? And when I say my children, well, that's why I do what I do. When I try to be as around, provide as much as I can. Like those are my just two conscious
Mhm.
like content things, right? I can't even think of a third. If I do a third, it's like unknown, unbeknownst to me, right? You know how
Right.
when you do something, you know you're doing it, and if sometimes you're doing something you don't know you're doing it, so somebody points it out, right?
Mhm.
I can just say that my health and my children are the two most important things for me. Why? Because that's my everyday. Gym, family.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I can think of another one for you right now.
What's that?
Your financial legacy.
Yeah, I guess I put that with the chill. Like I guess I wrapped everything up with them, right? Because
Yep.
my financial legacy is dedicated to them as well, right? Right.
Mhm.
I got more than one job, but one of my main jobs is to provide for them to make sure that financially, mentally, physically, everything's all right. Once again, my biggest thing is the children never asked to be here, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think our roll ups when I say children, everything
Mhm.
that comes with that, right?
Right.
There's no true fathership without income.
Yeah. Well,
So
hmm.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before I give mine, I want to say I am also simulcasting this to Instagram, and I at least want to say hey to folks on Instagram. Flo, I don't know if you could get on the Instagram and be on there at the same time. If it's going to cause a reverb or anything like this. This is reality podcasting, y'all. So just
Are you
hang
on
with
your
us.
phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone, of course. But I'm on my Mama Yoga page, and if you come on, then I'll bring you on too. And then we'll be both places at all. Child, we is the fabulous grand wizards. We is in multiple places at one time. Let's see if that we can do that. But while you're doing that, I'm gonna say hey to the people who have joined on. What's up, Nikhil? Good to see you. Good to see everybody else as well. Are you on there? There you go. Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, and let me see about asking to come on. You have no request to join. But let me see if I could pull you in. I'm inviting you now. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Why don't you share this live with your anybody that you think this message will resonate with, and we'd love to just include you in the talk. That's what it is. And so okay, it says you join. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Hey, Neff. What's up, Neff?
Hold on.
What's
Go
up?
back. Okay, there we go. I had to
Oh
turn it.
yeah, we get a reverb. I wonder if I turn it down if people could still hear me.
Yeah, you just turning it down on your phone.
Yeah,
They should still be able to hear you.
I hope so.
If
So
they can, let us
listen,
know.
yeah, let me know if you can still hear me, right? Just let me know if you can still hear me so that we can know if we is doing this technology thing to the most. Okay, let me know. Just put in chat or in the comments if you can still hear me. Right. So, 5 things that you care about the most in your life, and do something within those 5 things every single day, right? Something within those 5 things every day. My couple of my 5 things are: one, my spiritual devotionals. That's my meditations, my yoga, my stretching, my my visualizing and connection and alignment to divine source, the way I pray. That is number one at the top of the list, because that just is, it needs to be number one. And ain't even no reason to even go all into the explanation. And then secondly is my health and vitality. That is so important. So every single day, I must contribute to those two things in my life every single day. Before the phone, before the work, before whatever, every single day I have to contribute to those two things. And then I have three others that I set down because when I heard Boy say it, I paused it as soon as I heard him, because sometimes these things can get away from you. So I paused it as soon as I heard him say it, and just kind of reflected on what would I choose as my five things, that are the most important. So we're going back over here to IG Live. We were asking if you can hear me. Whoever you just came on, type in chat if you can hear me, okay? Because we didn't want to get the reverb. So we turned one of the things down. Just let us know if you can hear us. Okay. All right. So that's five. That's one guide and direction today. Well, we had two so far. One is, if you're going to follow somebody for whatever you need them to teach you, see if they have what the young folks is calling receipts. See if they are using whatever it is they trying to teach you in their own life. It's a fair question. It's not disrespectful. It's not, angry or aggressive. It's a fair question. Because if I'm coming to you about weight loss and, you're dealing with your own weight loss dynamic, or you haven't dealt with your own capacity, then I'm kind of, to me, it's a little questionable, It just is, because if it's so good, how come you ain't using it? But bump,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it's so good, how come you're not using it? So, and that doesn't mean, I can say for my own self, like Mama Yoga. Okay, I had an injury and I had a very huge life change. It's not an excuse. It's the reality, right? And a serious injury that prevented me from exercising, and a big life change in terms of caring for my mom, and what ultimately was a state of depression and sadness and loss around that. We on the other side to that now, though. And as I said, if you wasn't on earlier, the Coke bottle is making an appearance, baby, because it works. Like my boy, my man, wonderful Reverend Ike used to say, I can't lose with the stuff I use, honey. When he would be teaching about financial literacy and how to get your mind right around money, and the practical Mama Yoga wellness curriculum, teaching, brand. I use all that stuff, And in fact, even though it did not stem the weight, I did use a lot of my training meditations to really keep me from deep ending. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep my head, just treading until it was time to create a release, you know? But sometimes you got to allow yourself to experience what it is you are going through, as opposed to totally ignoring it, submerging it, or whatever, and it gets locked somewhere, and then you got all kind of issues and troubles. You with me? So the thing is to not harshly judge, because you don't know what somebody's life is going through, but at some point you want to see them using what it is that they are professing to teach at some point. So that was the first share we wanted to. And then secondly, what are the five most important things to you that you want to dedicate your time, energy, and effort to, that you need to pour into each day, right? Flaw shared. What did you say yours was? You shared two.
My health and my children, my family,
Your health and your family, right?
which
And
is an
mine's
extension
was,
of which is an extension of my financial growth, things like that.
yeah, that's too neat. That's a third thing. It's a whole third thing, Flaw.
Well, that's three then. Give me three.
I'm giving you
Health,
three.
my wealth, my children.
You put your children after the wealth.
It's definitely no order, but I always put health and
Yeah.
wealth together. Like I always put like hustle and muscle together, wealth and
All
health.
right now.
They just run. They just go together. That's all.
No, but that's deep. I love that. What the kids say, them bars, baby.
Yeah, that's
Bars.
why you can't
Hustle and
separate them.
muscle.
Hustle and muscle. That's my motto. Hustle and muscle.
I love that. Hustle and muscle. So now I done got all off on a tangent, the poor algorithm. Okay. So hustle and muscle. That means, what does hustle and muscle mean? I get the muscle part, the gym, but what's the hustle part?
Just how you get to it. Yeah, your hustle is just how you get to your financial well-being, right? Of course, growing up, you can think of hustling as a bad word, but it's not,
Yeah.
right? If you wake up in the morning and you get to it, right? Your job can be your hustle, right? No matter
Yeah.
what it is, you're 9 to 5. But if you get
Yeah.
to it, if you get into it, it's a hustle. So your
Okay.
hustle is whatever you do to get money.
Okay now. Yeah, hustle and muscles to hustles. What?
Hustle and muscle. Hustle and muscle. That's what it is. Hustle and muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you named your three: your health, your children, and your hustle and muscles. Right. Okay, I get it. And then mine, I shared three. Of course, I do have five because I did reflect on this for a moment. But I shared, I think I shared two. Mine's were devotional and my health. So devotion, my devotionals, which is my meditations and alignment, daily alignment to divine source, my reverence to my ancestors, and practicing the spiritual, energetic connections that I know help and heal my life and guide my life. And then, of course, my health. I got some muscles and hustles and looking for the bustles in there too, honey. Yes, darling. Hashtag Coke bottle famous. Let's go. Right. So yes, my health and vitality is just it's just really, really important. And then of course my financial legacy and the community care and love. Those things are very, very, very important to me. I think that's four. And then, of course, family and family connection. Right. So think of what your five things are and put them on the refrigerator, put them in your notes on your phone, make it your screensaver, whatever you have to do. But every single day you pour into those five things. And if people are not contributing to that, when they call you and want to tell you about Shirley Strawberry and her husband and situation, or they telling you what's happening on social media or whatever, how's that? Look at that list and be like, okay, how's it helping devotional, health, finances? What? It ain't even on the list. This shit you talking about. You can't get those people your time. You can't give your time to that, right? So stay focused in that regard. I thought that was very helpful. Another thing was the 7 habits of successful people. Really, the title was the 7 habits of millionaires. Now that's some powerful stuff right there. But you don't have to be no millionaire to have these habits, And the 7 habits, one of them is you got to get up at early, like early. You just do. And a lot of times now with the social media flux and flow, people are staying up late, like way late, much later than they need to. And so you can't really get up. And if you do get up, you're not really rested. So you got to get up early. Most people who are very successful, they have this thing called the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I ain't never been, even when I was running my home care agency, I just never been a 5 a.m. type chick. Excuse me. And the home care agency was the most successful business in terms of monetary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very, 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 very very successful business. But I never was no 5 a.m. If I'm up that early, I'm not definitely ain't clanging no weights and running and stuff. I
You know
would do
I am.
some yoga, huh?
You know I am.
Yeah,
Love
but
that.
they say the most successful people are up that early. are up that early at the gym, the 5 a.m. club, that's where the millionaires are, you know? Well, shit, you might want to do that just because of that. Is
Yeah.
that where the men is?
Oh, I
Eh,
don't know.
well,
Gyms be empty. The gyms be empty. I actually was going because I used to work for um,
hmm
the job I had at the time. My starting time was 6:30, and
right.
I didn't want to go to the gym after work. I'm not one of those guys that can muster up the energy to go after
After work.
5 p.m.,
hmm
6 p.m. I'm sitting on the couch. You give yourself that option. Do I want to go or not? And I used to fail at that. So what I did
hmm
was I got it out the way, woke up in the morning, I realized it gave me tremendous energy and I'm gonna be all right. Oh, I'm gonna be tired.
hmm
No, I'm gonna be okay because I get energy and you'll just go to bed earlier, right? But you just make time for the things that's important. Like not make excuses. I'll be tired. How do you do it? I'm tired. I don't just like you said about, 5 minutes ago, the people that kind of just are against what I'm about, I just stay away from 'em, because what people don't
Right.
understand is you're making excuses as to why you can't do something. You haven't even tried. I think I'll be tired. Oh, that's you. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. Meet me at the gym if you're going. So
hmm Yeah, 5 a.m. I like I said, the earliest I would get to the gym is like 7 o'clock, which is still pretty early.
yeah.
Uh, it's still pretty early. But the point is, first thing in the morning, you have to get that movement in, you just do. So, the gym, the 5 a.m. club, get that movement in. The second thing, hold on here, I'm trying to find, I lost the list. Hold on one second.
Hmm.
Okay. Thanks, y'all. We don't want no radio silence, but it is what it is. Okay. They drink water. Drink a lot of water. Nice big glass of water first thing in the morning. When you get up, enjoy your quiet time. Read something. Uh, commune with your family and friends. Spend some family time before everybody gets out, if you can, some kind of family time. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you should at least tap into the people, your loved ones, just to check in on them, even if you send them a text or whatever, to connect, because you don't know, sometimes people don't come home.
Hmm.
Sometimes you ain't coming home, so just check in on your loved ones. You want to make sure that you have your list of things that you are going to accomplish done, or your list that things you want to accomplish for that day, so that you can refer to it. List of the day. Let's see, there is another one. Happily, I'm so happy for what they call that, reality podcasting, because this shit is on the fly.
They said they can't hear you talking on the IG.
Oh, they said they can't hear me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but how about is that better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah. Let me know. I can't see. Can you see the notes on IG?
This yes, Julia Basic says, or I can't hear Mama talking.
Okay, so I'm talking now, Miss Julie. Julia, can you hear me now? Anybody that's on, let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. All right, so we have four. First thing in the morning, some type of movement, some type of workout. Again, there's the 5 a.m. club. If you get up that early, it's all good, but at some point, you need to move and get up early to move so that you can win the day. Wonderful. You can hear us now. Thank you. Hear me now. Thank you so much. Then you want to read something. You want to drink water. I always drink a warm cup of water, not like a tea, not like hot water or anything like that, but just warm water. Because what happens is that warm water ignites your digestion. It puts your organs on notice. It's time to get up, time to move, right?
Room temperature water, or do you do something specific to the warm
Well, I
water?
have a dispenser. So I mix hot tea water with regular water.
Okay.
So I have a dispenser where I can do that. So it's kind of not, it's not really room temperature. It's just warm but not hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little warmer than room temperature, but it hasn't sat all night nowhere. I'm, like I said, I have a dispenser where I can mix the two. If you want to put a little warm water on a in the teapot and just get it a little bit warm, and then mix it with regular or not tap, but regular temperature water, that's fine. Or if all you have is room temperature water, I wouldn't do cold water, obviously, right? Because cold water, first of all, cold beverages destroy the gut bacteria. So, you don't want to start your day with a weakened gut bacteria. Science is showing us that 80% of your immunity is in the gut, right? And so a lot of times our behaviors, our capacity to deal with the day, our capacity to be strong and get through what we need to get through is not because we have weak will or we don't have willpower or we just, are undisciplined. A lot of the time it is our gut health is compromised.
Mm.
So drinking cold fluids all the time, you got a cup full of ice and you always got something fizzy on it or pouring something over it, destroys the bacteria in the gut. So the first thing in the morning, you want to drink warm something.
Mm-hmm.
Warm water. You could put lemon in it if you want, or you could just drink it warm like that. So drink water. You want to connect with your loved ones and make sure that you are at least touching a point of care to your loved ones. Whether it's texting them, because everybody's life is so busy and running here, there, and everywhere. You want to at least reach out and touch your loved one, even if it's texting, right? Because like I said earlier, sometimes people don't come home, but that's besides the point. Your family, what you doing all that working and hustling for? It's for your family and your legacy and the people that you care for and you care about, right? Okay, so reach out and touch. You want to look at your goals for the day and what it is you need to do to accomplish those goals. You want to make sure you understand what is happening for that day and you have an action plan for that day. Highly successful people don't just roll out of bed and stumble into millions of dollars. They don't stumble into tens of thousands. Everybody probably ain't gonna be no millionaire. That's okay. But you want to be a thousandaire at least.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. Doesn't happen by you just rolling out of bed and then stumbling into it. Remember, this is the Mind Body Energy Show. Your energy is connected to your inner G, which helps you manifest the royalty and the excellence within you. But you got to do your part. And your part is to participate. Participate. You got to do your part. So you're not going to just stumble into the success that you want on whatever level it is. An action plan is necessary. So one of the things that highly successful people do is they have an action plan every single day. If there's a day off, that is planned. It ain't just I'm waking up on Tuesday, but my day off that I decided is going to be Thursday, but it's Tuesday, so I'm just going to blow off Tuesday, right? So you want to create and look at your goals for that day and have an action plan for that day. Now, earlier in the talk, we discussed the 5 most important, having at least 5 important things to you and pouring into those 5 things all day, every day, cutting out time in your day to touch on each one of those 5 points. your health, your hustle, your muscle, and your hustle.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. You better trademark that bad boy.
I
You
was
right
thinking
now, you
about that.
should be going on GoDaddy right now and getting that
Hustle
shit.
and muscle.
Right. Your family, your loved ones, your devotionals, whatever your five most important things are, each day you need to do something. Allocate some of your time and your energy to the energy of each one of those five things. Earlier, we talked about how everything has a spirit connected to it. There's a spirit that informs you, that is a health, wellness, healing dynamic, right? There's an energy that some call a spirit. So your energy, electricity can align with the energy, INNER capital G, of that particular dynamic, right? Case in point, years ago, and in some parts of the world, it's still the same. If your father was a locksmith, you trained in the ways of being a locksmith because there's the technical side to understanding how to create, open, fashion locks. And then there's the spirit, the energy of being a locksmith. There's the unspoken, unwritten, ain't nowhere in a textbook knowledge about locksmithing that can only be passed down through experience, through connecting with that practice. So each of one of your five things that you are really that's important to you in your life, there is an energy, electromagnetic flow, and an energy, right? A spiritual understanding, a knowing beyond intellectual understanding, for real. Like we were talking earlier, Flo and I were speaking earlier about knowing, we can observe who is a master trainer and who just started training people. Because they have the book knowledge, it's okay, but they don't have the experience, the energy, INNERG, that helps them inform and teach and create a program specific to that particular person's needs. They're just going off of the regular book knowledge, right? So get up in the morning, get some movement. There's a 5 a.m. club. If y'all could be with that, it's all good. In the chat here, let me know if anybody in the 5 a.m. club, where you going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning or for a run or walk or whatever. Then you read something that is inspiring, uplifting, nourishing to you, whether it's a spiritual book or what have you, that's what you do, right? And then make sure that you drink some water. Stay away from cold fluids, especially first thing in the morning. Warm water, room temperature at the least. It gets your digestion moving. It wakes your body up. It puts your organs and your brain on notice. Make sure that you reach out and connect to loved ones. This is all before you actually get your day really going, right? What millionaires or successful people do before breakfast is actually the title, right? And so you want to reach out to your loved ones, just check in on them, send them an energy of love, electromagnetic exchange of love and healing. And then you want to have your goals for the day and pour into those goals, and have an action plan, because nobody is going to just fall into success. Now, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have two more because there were 7. Right. And y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me, but I'm sorry, I gotta go to the thing because I forgot what the other two was. Lord have mercy. So, Flaw, how close do you function on this list?
Man, well, of course, I'm part of the 5 a.m. club of waking up, but I actually just like last week or 2 weeks ago, I still dedicated myself to waking up, but I dedicated my 5 o'clock to actually watching inspirational videos or reading. So
Mhm,
today I don't just jump up and go to the gym like I used to because I now have I have more time. Like I said, the
mhm,
5 a.m. gym session was because I had somewhere to be at a certain time. Now I don't. So I
mhm,
still believe in waking up early, but reading a chapter or two, at least 30 minutes of my book.
mhm,
Of course, water as soon as I wake up is that's why I asked you room temperature or whatever, because room temperature water. Um,
mhm,
we have a text thread of family where we say good morning. It's my mom and siblings. But as you're sitting here thinking, as I'm sitting here talking, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm saying, there is a person or two more that I can reach out to every day and send the same message. Doesn't matter. So that's what I was
mhm,
thinking. It's like, you know what? A lot of the things that I was doing without having that millionaire mindset, even though I have a millionaire mindset, if that makes sense. But to
mhm. It does.
put it in that perspective, it's like, okay, I know I could be doing a little more, even though I'm on the right path of doing it, right? My reasons of 5 a.m. was
Mhm,
a convenience. But really, hey, that's where the millionaires are made, right? The
mhm,
reason why I do this, well, it's just through convenience. But you know what? That's where the millionaires are made. So
mhm. That's right. That is where they're made. That's right.
yep.
So yeah. So it's really a wonderful process, to go through, and it helps you set your day, set your week up. So we have 5 a.m. club or early. The point is the first thing in the morning is the first thing in the morning. All of this is about you setting up your day to win. If you win the morning, you win the day, right? Win the morning, win the day, right? So do some type of movement when you get up first. Read some type of nourishing scripture. Make sure you have water room temperature, or like warm water. Doesn't have to be like a hot tea or anything like that. Connect with loved ones first thing before you even get going. Now, if they want to go into a long soliloquy and a thesis about what happened on Succession or whatever, what's the name of that show that child was on, what's her name, Meghan Markle, that Suits, or they want to talk to you first thing in the morning about all the stuff, or they still mad about some shit, it's not that. It's just a reach out and touch. Hey, listen, I know you're getting your day started. I love you. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. That's it. Keep it rolling, right? And you want to review your goals for the day and make sure that there's an action plan for you to accomplish whatever it is you're set out to do for that day, as well as pour into each thing the 5 things that matter to you the most. And then you want to have a good solid breakfast, right? You want a breakfast that is not going to make your brain soggy, which is usually a lot of carbohydrates, breads with jelly and toasts and sandwiches from one of these convenience stores, which is not even food. You want to have a breakfast, quote unquote, a breakfast of champions. You know, you want to have a breakfast that's going to energize you, right? So if that's a protein shake, if it's a green juice, if it's fruit, if it is some type of power bowl, whatever you're having, it needs to be energizing, because the last thing you want is you done got up, you part of the 5 a.m. club, you done worked out, you got your muscle and hustle, your hustle and muscle on, you is done did all this stuff, you got your plan, and now you catatonic for 2 hours because you didn't eat all the sugar and all this damn carbohydrates, and your brain is like, okay, wait, what? Mm-mm. Keep it light, but keep it nourishing. You want to make sure that you are having real whole foods. For me, I like to have some cucubital fruit Some of y'all may think it's vegetables. Like I like to have cucumbers. Cucurbitals are all long, oblong shaped fruits. So you got squash, you got cucumbers, watermelons are cucurbitals. They're in that family, right? So I like to have very light in the morning. I like to have I'll cut up some cucumbers, shave, take the skins off. Even if they are organic, I don't want to eat the skin. It's just kind of rubbery, and I guess I'm weird like that. So I'll have some cucumbers and maybe some, I'll have a savory and a sweet fruit, but it can't be too sweet because my system is very sensitive. So my favorite fruit in the entire world is apples. I love apples. I guess my grandmother used to love apples. So I guess that's where that came from. But I will have that and an apple, cut up apple. I will have a tea that I drink, a vegan, protein drink, very light. I don't put no whole bunches of milks and berries and all this. It just be water, powder and water. Shake it up. Boom. Let's go. Hair on the chest. Let's get it, you know? So whatever works for you is all good. I'm not saying what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just sharing with you. You don't want to come through this whole process of, the 7 habits of successful people, where you went to the gym, you've read, you drink your water, you connect with your loved ones, you have your goals, and you come to breakfast and you eat a breakfast that makes you catatonic. That is not going to work, right? And everybody's capacity for that is different. And then the 7th thing is get to work, baby. Begin your work day. If it's people that you need to call them, get it out the way. Even if you're leaving them a message by 8 a.m. All of this is done before 8 a.m., honestly. Even if you're leaving them a message, but you've lined up your day, because by 6 o'clock, you need to be taking it down for the day, connecting with your family, communing with the energy of your loved ones, resetting the mind, body, and energy for rest. By 6 o'clock, all work need to be done. You can have some screen time, but the studies are showing that if you are on your screens right up to bedtime, it affects your hypothalamus and your, what they call it, medulla. I can't think of the word right now, but you know what I'm talking about. It is, a very strong, it's a very strong gland in the brain that sets your mood, right? If you're on your screen, say you go to bed at 11 and you are watching whatever on your screen up to 10:55, cut it off, you go to bed. Well, what happens is the energy in the brain doesn't reset the way that it needs. So you may wake up groggy, you may wake up cranky, you may wake up in a more depressed mood than you would have if you stopped watching your screen an hour before you went to bed and did some stretching, some deep breathing. You can do some reading with a real, regular, tangible book, right? Like a book, not your Audible or anything like that. No screen time, because the transference of the energy, the science is showing is very, very toxic, right? And those are the 7 things. You have 5 things that you care about that you're pouring into every single day, and 7 habits of successful people, 7 habits of millionaires before 8 o'clock, before breakfast. Yeah. How about that?
Oh, it's pretty knowledgeable. I'm gonna try that tonight. 1 hour, no TV time, an hour before bed.
Yeah, that shit is hard like a mug.
Try. I said
Because
try. I'm gonna try it.
we are holy. We is 2 feet, 10 toes down, addicted. Like what? Tell you, Steve Harvey put me to bed every night, child. Every night. Like I'm not gonna be watching no, nothing that is jarring or aggressive or news about tornadoes and shit. Like, I'm not watching that first thing in the morning, and I'm not watching that before I go to bed. I barely watch any of it during the day. You know, if it comes across my feed, but I'm not a news person like that, because they ain't doing nothing but keeping you in a state of fear. And when you go to sleep, it's very well understood in spiritual culture that your sleep time is your reset time. The body comes to work in a cleansing, balancing, healing way when you sleep. So people who don't sleep in the dark hours really are at great risk of all kinds of illnesses and diseases. You know, because when you sleep, the body then goes through and cleans out all of the toxins. You're also fasting too. Remember that, right? You have stopped eating, you stopped consuming. So when you sleep, sleeping and fasting is when the body does her work to clean out. And whether you're a male or female, the sympathetic nerve, the parasympathetic nervous system is a female energy, female electromagnetic vibration. Every single night when you go to sleep, it comes and it cleans out, pulls the toxins that are stuck in your organs. It removes, wayward cells. It tries to go through and clear up too much mucus in one area, and then it delivers all of the waste, the parasympathetic, the divine feminine energy within you delivers all the waste to all the toxins to your elimination pathways, your skin, your bowels, and your kidneys, your bladder, to get rid of the toxins that she has accumulated out of your system, pulled out of your system overnight while you were not eating and you were sleeping. So you want to try to do as best you can. You don't want to be jarred and wired and stressed before you go to sleep. You want to be, as in a relaxed state. And one of the things that, had made me not feel so bad about, I'm okay with watching whatever, is because laughter before you go to bed helps that healing process. Do you know that you lose most of your weight overnight when you're sleeping? Your body's cleaning out all the waste. You're not eating, so you're in a fasted state. And the breath, the toxins that are holding on to the excess fat are expelled through the breath.
That's why when you wake up in the morning, you're supposed to weigh yourself, because
that's right. Midday weight is always wrong.
Yep.
Shell, I do not weigh this, honey. Scale, you is so wrong. I do not weigh this. Let me just tell you.
Yep.
I need these 3 pounds first thing in the morning.
Weigh yourself first thing in the morning.
Right. So it's a lot of information. I feel like I haven't been on here in way too long. It's a lot of information, but we just want to make sure that you are aware. We want you to win. We know you are a winner. Everything that is dynamic, that is fabulous, that is, of immense society good and change comes from the mind of Black people. And other folk can feel however they feel about that. It is what it is, I got, yeah, it is what it is. And I stand on that 10 toes down. It's all love. Not saying nobody else is not a contributor, but let's look at the winning. You're a winner and we want you to win. And that's why we share this information to you, because your mind, your body, and your energy is what keeps you vital, strong, and keeps you winning, keeps you coming up with the greatness and the ideas to move your life forward. Right? Yep. So that's what it is. This is the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast. I am doing a simulcast. I know it sounded a little odd today, but simulcasting to IG. Hey, y'all, IG Live. And recording here on is podcast Sundays, and I think Flaw be hopping on Sundays doing all these podcasts. Hey, anybody want a producer for a podcast? Flaw is up for hire.
Yeah, all right, for sure.
You know, he can help you put your show
Bad.
together. He's excellent. You know, you reach out to him and he will help you. He will give you a consultation, and you can hire him to help you produce your podcast. And you know, it can be a great symbiotic relationship, right? So that's what we'll say about that. Anything you want to share, Flaw?
No, that's it. You touched on a lot. I can't wait to utilize, some of the things. And I'm sometimes you just need some energy, to actually continue to do what you've been doing. So, I can't wait for 5 o'clock in the morning to change some things around, right? Like I said, and I said this to myself, I said this to my son, last week. It's like, hey, I don't have to go to the gym at, you wake up at 5, you want to be in the gym by 6, no later. But now it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna drink my water, of course, and I'm gonna read. I'm gonna just look into some information, then go to the gym, right? Because I think by 8 o'clock, I still should be done everything. Gym is like 45 to 60 minutes, man. It's no reason to overdo it. Get in there, stay active, and get out there. So I can't wait for tomorrow. It's Monday. People go, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Friday. I love the weekdays because when you're a business owner, that's when you make the money. So
All right now.
let's get to it.
All right now. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. The hustle and the muscle. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Drop us a line, leave us some comments, follow us on all podcast platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. We out here in these podcast streets. Be sure and follow us, leave us a comment, follow and like, and you can share also with people you think might want to hear and benefit from the messages of the Mind Body Energy and Balance show. Till next time, peace and love.